So it's finally here. Unova Tour is right around the corner. So I wanted to go over the event itself and some useful tips and tricks for these bigger weekend-long events. That way you can prepare accordingly. Hopefully you've been preparing all season long for what you're wanting to do for the event, but we're going to go over all that again today. So first, let's talk about the big debut for this event, which is Black Kyurem and White Kyurem in Pokemon Go. So these will be raid exclusive Pokemon. They will be in the 5-star raids, and they will be able to be shiny, which is great, just like what we experienced with the Unova Tour, with the fusions from last summer as well. You will need a Reshiram, you will need a Zekrom, and then you get a Kyurem, and you'll be able to fuse them together. So nothing new really. The fusion mechanic is something that they're really leaning into. This is probably one of the last major fusions we're going to see for a very long time. But that's the 5-star raid target for the entire weekend. So if you are looking for a shiny Zekrom, shiny Reshiram, or shiny Kyurem, this is your opportunity, because after this, I don't think we're going to see them for a very long time. Along with that, we are going to get the Pokemon Go debut of shiny Meloetta. It's going to be through a master research ticket, so it's going to be $4.99 US, or your equivalent currency. And this is going to be a very long masterwork research, special research event. So this is not something that you're going to get this weekend, but you can buy it as part of this event, so you can get a shiny Meloetta for your Pokemon Go account if you've not gotten one through the distributions in Pokemon Home and through the Switch titles that they've done earlier this year. Along with this, we will get the shiny debuts of Deerling and Sawsbuck in all 4 seasons. And all 4 seasons will be part of the rotating habitats, part of the weekend. So keep an eye on that. We'll go through the habitats in a few minutes. And then the last shiny debut that we're going to get is Sigilyph, Bouffalant, and Maractus. They will be in the 10-kilometer egg pool, and these are regional Pokemon. So for those who do not have these regional Pokemon because they haven't traveled or haven't traded with a friend who's been to those areas, this is going to be your opportunity to hatch one for your decks, but also hatch a shiny one. So all 3 of these are getting their shiny debuts as part of the 10K eggs. So something that if you want to go after, great. If not, it's there. Or when you go into Unova Tour, talk to the people that are going there. Make some friends. See if they have one to trade, and you guys can do a trade that will be mutually beneficial. So we talked about the 5-star raids. Unfortunately, the 1-star raid is just Druddigon in itself. It's going to be obviously overshadowed by the 5-star dragons, but that's something that if you need a Druddigon or want a shiny Druddigon, it's going to be in the 3-star raids for you as well. And then in the 1-star raids, we're going to get Pikachu in 4 different hats. We're going to get Hilbert's hat, Hilda's hat, Nate's hat, and Rose's visor. So if you love the costume Pikachus, this is an opportunity to get 4 of them through the 1-star raids as well. And then we are going to get black and white backgrounds based off the video games for Zekrom, Reshiram, and Kyurem. But let's go into the rotating habitats, go into the details of these habitats, and seeing what we can target for every hour block. Alrighty, so the first habitat is Winter Caverns. So this habitat is going to be from 10 to 11 and 2 to 3 local time. So these will be on an hourly rotation, like every other tour event. And then in the Winter Caverns, we will get Oshawott, Roggenrola, Woobat, Drillbur, Tortuga, Minccino, Vanillite, Winter version Deerling, Joltik, Clink, Tynamo, Axew, Cubchoo, and Cryogonal. And then all 4 of the Pikachus will be a rare spawn during this habitat. So that is the first habitat. It's everything I mentioned is shiny. So this is an opportunity to get more shiny Pokemon. So that's not too bad. The second habitat is going to be Spring Soleil. The spring habitat is going to be from 11 to 12 p.m. and again at 3 to 4 p.m. local time. So the Pokemon in this habitat are going to be Snivy, Pansage, which is a regional, Munna, Audino, Timber, Sawaddle, Venipede, Cottony, Petalil, Ducklet, Spring Version Deerling, Amoongut or Fungus, Alomomola, and Ferocity. And again, all four costume Pikachus will be in this habitat. Again, everything is shiny. The key pieces here is Audino and Fungus are in this habitat as well, so Stardust boosted Pokemon to take advantage of as well. So that is the spring. In terms of the summer vacation habitat, summer vacation will be from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. and again from 4 to 5 p.m. local time. And then in this summer habitat, we will get Tepig, Lillipup, Pansear, which is another regional, Pidove, Blitzel, Tynamo, normal Unovian Darumaka, Dwebble, Archon, Trubbish, Summer Deerling, Amoga, Stunfisk, Rufflet, and then all four costume Pikachus. As a reminder, Trubbish is a Stardust boosted Pokemon as well, so if you see them, definitely catch them for the Stardust, because you're definitely going to need it. And then the last habitat is Autumn Masquerade. This one is from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. and again from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. local time. So in the Autumn habitat, you have Patrat, Purloin, Panpour, which is a regional, Scraggy, Unovian Yamask, Gothita, Solosis, Autumn Deerling, both versions of Frillish, Elgium, Litwick, Golett, and Dino, and again, all four versions of the costume Pikachu will be able to be spawned there. So a lot of Pokemon to go after, a lot of different Stardust boosted Pokemon. Every Pokemon we just listed is shiny eligible, which is fantastic. Nothing is shiny locked during this event. The one things I am personally going after is Patrat and then Pansear and Pansage. I need those for my living decks, as Pansear and Pansage, as we mentioned, are regional Pokemon. They're not in my region, so I'm going to take advantage of that the best I can. So we just talked about the wild spawns and rotating habitats. Let's look into the egg pool for this event to see what we can go out and get. And if you want to get the egg experience through the Road Unova event, these would be Pokemon that you'd be targeting. In the 2-kilometer egg pool, we got Roggenrola, Timber, Carablast, Shelmet, and Larvesta. In the 5-kilometer egg pool, we got Throw, Sock, Heatmore, Durant, and Larvesta. And then finally in the 10K egg pool, we have Maractus, Sigalith, Bouffalant, and Larvesta. We talked about the 10K egg pool, but Larvesta is in all the egg pools, so if you're looking for a shiny Larvesta or a good Larvesta, this is going to be an opportunity for you as well. With the incense, like every event, we will have Unknown as part of the incense spawn table. And the Unknown will spell Unova, so A-N-O-U-N-V will be a part of the event. So if you're looking to try to collect all the Unknown, this is your opportunity to get 5 more letters. And that is everything when it comes to the featured Pokemon in the event. Like I said, there's a lot of Pokemon, there's a lot of different ways to get different Pokemon. So if you want to strategize and kind of plan out each of your days, or how you want to plan out the day you are going to be participating for the most, this is your best opportunity to sit down and kind of carve out what you're going for. Like I said, for me, my number one priority is Patrat, Pansear, and Pansage. I know that sounds weird, but I want to get those shiny, so I'm going to be targeting those as part of my experience. Alrighty, so along with all the Pokemon, we do have the conclusion of the season-long research. So we're going to get the last 2 steps of the season-long research right before Unova Tour itself. And then along with that, we are going to get a special research for the event like we do all the time. So this is going to be something that's going to focus on what's happening during the event itself. Trainers will have a boosted chance of receiving field research during the event as well. Basculin encountered during the field research will have an increased chance of being extra small or extra large. Again, another opportunity for another medal for us. And then Costume Pikachu, Basculin, and all 4 versions of Deerling will be Pokemon rewards for field research during the event. So again, another way to get shiny Pikachu. And honestly, the Pikachus from Field Research probably will have the best chance of having the best IVs as well. So this would be your best opportunity to get a Shundo Pikachu with a costume. Alright, so let's look at the bonuses and features for the tour to see how we can best utilize those to our advantage here. So during the event, there will be half hatch distance for all incubators. So whatever the incubator is, half hatch distance on that. All trainers will also receive a boost in terms of remote raid passes. It's going to be unlimited, so you can do a remote raid as much as you want. You'll get 6 special trades a day, and then your Stardust cost for those trades will be cut in half. It's also going to be a bonus in party play, so when you are doing party play, you have opportunity to encounter Sock, Heatmore, Throw, and Durant as part of party play rewards. I'm going to be with Kristen. We're going to be doing this together, so we're definitely going to be in a party and just take advantage of being in party play. Not only are we getting these special rewards, but party play also gives you attack boosts when you're doing the raids, so when you're raiding with others, at least you and your whoever you're in your party with will be able to do more damage in the raids. And then also on routes, Basculin is going to be on the routes, so if you want to take advantage of that, you absolutely can. But other than that, that is everything for the Unova Go event, that weekend, the spawn tables, the bonuses, how to kind of target and carve out your plan for the weekend. And with that, let's go into the tips, tricks, and things to plan around to make sure you're going to have the best event possible. Alrighty, so we just talked about the event. So first off, when it comes to planning these big weekend events, the first thing you need to do is plan where you're going. For us, I have a park that I go to for all the big events. It is not the park that I usually do my morning walks in, because where I go, there's going to be more people. It has a lot of Pokestops, it has a lot of gyms, and it has a lot of people. Those are the 3 things you really are looking for when you are planning to go and attend one of these in-person events in the global atmosphere. Because the focus is 5-star raids, so you need people to raid with. You want to find an area with a lot of Pokestops and gyms so you can constantly refill your bag. And you also want to be able to enjoy the time element of this as well. So plan out where you're going, plan with your friends or party, depending on what time you want to get to the event, where parking is, the logistics of all that, who's picking up who. That way, when you wake up Saturday morning, you're not trying to figure it out in the last minute. Now, when it comes to the physical environment of where you're playing, we talked about where you're going to go, but you also need to make sure you know what the weather for the day is going to be. As you can see, today is a cooler day, so I'm wearing a hoodie, but there's probably more likely where I live, it's going to be a sunny day. It's going to have higher temperatures, so I'm going to wear clothing that is appropriate for my weather. So I'm probably going to end up wearing a dry fit kind of t-shirt under as my shirt. I'm going to wear nice, healthy, breathable shorts. That way I'm not getting overly overheated and having to drag through maybe a hotter day. I'm going to put on sunscreen. I'm going to bring water in my liquid hydration and make sure that I'm going to be keeping hydrated and keeping my electrolytes in my system. I'm making sure where I'm going has water fountains so I can constantly refill my water bottle. And I want to make sure also where I'm going, I know the food around me. I know what my budget's going to be. So during our lunch break, I know more or less where we're going to go. May not know where I'm going yet, but I know what my options are going to be. So when I get there, I'm not trying to figure it out and losing time or even cutting out an hour that I may want to be playing versus having to figure out where food is. So when it comes to that physical environment, make sure you know what you're doing, make sure you know where you're going, and make sure you're dressing appropriately. One thing I would say is have a nice, comfortable pair of shoes. Not saying you have to get comfortable, you have to get a special set of shoes. I would definitely not recommend buying new shoes for this event and trying to break them in on the day of. If you want to get new shoes, buy them the week before, weekend up, and try to break them in a couple days prior, so when you're getting there, you're not going to have sore feet because you're breaking in a new pair of shoes while you're doing a whole bunch of walking. So that's another piece I definitely would recommend. Again, dress for the event, dress for your weather. That way you have the best experience possible when it comes to getting ready and doing everything you want to do for the weekend. And then finally, in terms of preparing for this event, look at your Pokemon storage and your bag inventory. Make sure that you have enough space in your Pokemon storage. What I would recommend is sometime in the middle of the week, sitting down sorting your storage by Pokedex orders, how I do it, but going through to make sure you just don't have random Pokemon sitting and taking up that Pokemon storage. And if you, once you go through and purge your storage and you still need more space, you might have to buy more space. You might have to go and increase that bag size if you want to catch a whole bunch of Pokemon and not have to worry about managing that in real time. You want to definitely give yourself as much breathable room in terms of your storage management as possible. That way you're not stopping what you're doing in order to manage that in the middle of the event, missing out on checks, missing out on raids, different things like that. Now in terms of your item storage, definitely go through, clear space out of items you don't plan on using or you don't need, and try to stock up for the items that you do need. So what I recommend is definitely having lucky eggs and star pieces. Definitely have enough for what you would be okay with using. I'm probably going to use about 6 to 8 during the day. I don't plan on going from 10 to 6. I usually end around 3 or 4, but I want to have enough so where I can take advantage of some extra experience, extra Stardust, especially with those Stardust boosted Pokemon. A star piece and during certain hours just could become your best friend. Another set of items that I would recommend are your premium Pokeballs, so your Great Balls and Ultra Balls. Make sure you get as many of those as possible, and a part of that is opening the gifts. Taking advantage of, hopefully you took advantage of the Scatter and the Win event when you're opening gifts and trying to get a shiny Scatterbug, but throughout the week and during the Road Unova event, go out on an extra walk. Maybe go to areas that are more densely populated with your Pokestops and spin more stops, open more gifts, and try to get your item bag to be where you want to be, so on Saturday morning you're not going around trying to spin Pokestops to gain resources so you can catch more Pokemon. You want to be prepared a little bit. Now your resources will be depleted very quickly during this event, but that's a problem that you can kind of manage throughout the day. If you're just keeping up the bag instead of filling the bag, you get to play and enjoy a little better. And then that goes the same for battle items. If you want to go raiding for the Kyurem, the Reshiram, and the Zekrom, make sure you have your revives. Make sure you have those potions. Make sure that you're able to constantly refill and redo your team. That way you're not slowing down the raid party because you have to revive up everyone every single time, or you have to try to go around and spin more stops or open more gifts for more battle items. So those are 2 different tricks to make sure you have the best experience. And don't forget about the adventure effects. Palkia and Dialga are still going to be your best friend, depending on what you want. If you are limited on certain resources, use Dialga to put pause that timer. If you want to catch more Pokemon, use Dialga to expand your catch radius. Definitely look into how many candy you have for both of those Pokemon, and also how much Stardust you have. Because again, that's resources you have to manage for the event and prepare accordingly. Right now is a really good time to go out and just catch a whole bunch of Pokemon and just get passive Stardust increases. That way you have a Stardust reserve that you can use for those adventure effects if you want to use those for the event itself. But that is everything that I can throw out at you. Hopefully you are able to create a game plan for the best Unova Tour experience that you want to have. Like I said, for me, my goal is to go after Shiny Patrat, Shiny Pansear, and Shiny Pansage. Those are my 6 targets. Yes, I said 6. I need 2 of each. But if I do some raids here and there, I definitely will. I'm going to an area that raiding will be encouraged, but it's not going to be my focus. But again, it might be your focus. So let me know if this helped. Let me know what your plans are for Unova Tour, if you know where you're going, if you kind of have to figure out some more things, or maybe you just went in and went, oh, I don't have enough Pokemon storage, or I don't have enough item storage, and this is your opportunity to prepare accordingly. I'll have my friend code in the description for anyone who wants to add me, and if you want to invite me to a raid or 2, I'm going to have a little extra remote raids for the weekend. I'm definitely going to try to do some raiding. Like I said, it's not my focus, but I'll definitely do it because I know it's a fun thing to do. And it never hurts to have a shiny legendary, or a good legendary for raiding for the future. So with that being said, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed Unova Tour, enjoy your preparation, and I will see you guys later.